Diary of a Wimpy Kid is one of my favorite series of all time. I read every book, I watched every movie, even the terrible one, and I even played the Pop Tropica level. I'm a hardcore fan. I remember reading Logic Rules during PE class in 4th grade, and my teacher was like, "Why are you reading, nerd?" And they shoved me inside a locker. It was so mean. When I saw that there was a new movie coming to Disney Plus, I was honestly hesitant. While the first 3 are so good, the 4th is an utter embarrassment. I love Jeff Kinney, the author, and the fact that he's still writing them seemingly till the day he dies is awesome. But the announcement for this movie kinda had me skeptical. I never liked the animation of the trailer. It was weird and bloated and reminds me of Mickey Mouse animated but in a 3D perspective on a ride. It's just unnatural. And now the movie is out and it's just not good. It's just very bland. The first trilogy of movies are so full of heart, and the cast is honestly what elevated those movies insanely high. Everyone in them just brought these characters to life in the most realistic and funny ways. A biggest highlight for me was always the dad, and just comparing the energy of the scenes, it just doesn't feel special at all in the new one.
I gotta guard the house. In case someone tries to TP us, they're gonna get drenched from the roof.
It takes too long to get that off. Nope, it's not happening. Good thoughts, all positivity.
I do feel like the voice actors do their best, but voice acting only goes so far when the animation accompanying it has no emotion itself. You can hire literally god tier voice actors, but when it's animated afterwards and the characters are kind of stiff and emotionless, what's the point? It's like when Mark Hamill voices in Rhapsody Street Kids. It's just dumb. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the performance is when the animation is just bland. I'm just not a fan of the animation, and I think everyone was more excited and hopeful that the animation would look something like the scenes animated in the original movies, some kind of 2D or anything like that. But if they were going to commit to this kind of style, then there's no reason for it to be this bland and ugly. When literally 6 years ago, the Peanuts movie, which essentially looks the exact same animation-wise, still makes it work. They just have very slight touches to the movement and aesthetic and style. Movies like Peanuts and Captain Underpants perfectly adapted their old styles and 2D styles to 3D, and this was years ago, and they did it beautifully. I don't know if it's a lighting issue, but their faces all the time just look so weird to me. It just feels like it's missing that extra layer of detail for an animated movie in 2021. It's like a draft, a genuine draft of a movie. And it's even worse when this movie is not even movie length. This movie is an hour long and pretty much beat for beat recreates the book, but still somehow feels like it's lacking a lot of important scenes. Basically, this feels like a cheap short movie made to promote Macy's for Christmas or something, rather than an actual animated movie. It's an hour long, and yet it's so slow and very uninteresting. I don't know how a kid could watch this and feel literally anything. If you wanted to see scenes from the book made into a movie, you basically get that, but you get that in the old trilogy so much better. And I'm gonna be honest, Rowley is annoying and mean in this movie, which is not supposed to be the case. Greg is supposed to be the jerk, and in the first couple of movies, he's literally a sociopath. But in this movie, it just feels like Rowley is the only jerk, and Greg always honestly seems justified with his annoyance towards him. You don't really feel like they're friends in this movie, and they don't really have drama between them, besides like a couple arguments that kind of feel bland and stupid. Rowley and Greg in the long haul felt more like friends, and Rowley's in that movie for 30 seconds. The only part I do like about this movie is the Halloween scenes. The lighting there actually seems like it fits the rest of the animation. But god, look at Manny from this angle, it's just so ugly, dude. Ugh. I don't want this movie to be bad. I adore Diary of a Wimpy Kid and what it means to so many kids who grew up on it and will continue to. But this movie doesn't seem to push any new fans to do so or check it out. I mean, I guess it's adapted to modern times because Roderick has like AirPods. So obviously the movie will adapt to the times for new generations, but not through the actual effort of trying to attract new fans. I mean, let's talk about the literal most dramatic climax from the first movie, the cheese touch scene. In the original, it's overplayed to be so dramatic, it's hilarious. It's like these boys are literally going to die from this cheese on the ground, and these bullies are sending them to their graves. The direction in that is honestly really fun, it's corny, it's cute, but in the animation, it's just a way to give this movie a quick ending. It's dramatic, but it's honestly boring. How are you making animation more boring than real life? It should always be the opposite. This is a medium to express and push past ways you couldn't in live action adaptations, but this is somehow one of the few cases where the live action is better than the animation. And that's never supposed to happen. With animation, you can do literally anything. You can make the characters move however, the camera go wherever, the story be whatever. But this is the bare minimum. It's animated because it's animated, and that's disappointing. They already announced the second movie, so honestly, I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully the animation is a bit of a step up, but if it's exactly like this, and this is how the movie plays out, I'll be pretty sad.